Welcome to Gentle Yoga for Cancer. I'm Rebecca, and we are starting supine on our backs, lying with knees bent if that's most comfortable, making contact with the ground. Um, Interesting that my topic today is staying awake, and I'm starting us lying down. But of course, in yoga, even when we are in Shavasana or resting pose, it's not a sleeping pose, right? It is still very much present, still very much awake with our bodies. So allow yourself to come to some stillness after adjusting to get comfortable and begin to become aware of your sensory environment. We are starting lying down on our backs. Begin to become aware of your sensory environment. What do you feel beneath your feet? What's present beneath your hands? Maybe it's the floor, maybe you put your hands on your belly. Where is your head resting? Can you feel the length of your spine beneath you? If your knees are bent, press into your feet gently and press your low back down into the mat. And then softly release the press. Do that just a few times, a little pelvic tilt, pressing down, flattening the curve of your back, of your lumbar spine, and then gently releasing that press, allowing the natural curve to come back. And then come back to some stillness. Bring your hands to your body, maybe to your belly, maybe one hand on your heart and one on your belly. And begin to become aware of the movement of breath in your body. As you inhale, filling up, maybe you feel your hand on your chest rise, excuse me, or your hand on your belly, or both. And as you exhale, maybe both hands gently sink towards the ground. Inhaling comfortably, a full breath, and then exhaling, letting it go and releasing. Expanding on the inhales and softening, releasing, grounding on the exhales. Release your hands back down to the ground if you'd like, palms down. Think about tucking your shoulder blades underneath you so that they're not coming up and rolling forward. So it's a up, back, and down. You can think about your shoulder blades coming towards each other just a little bit and then soften from there. Allow your head to gently roll from side to side, becoming very present. Beginning to notice what's here today. What are you presenting with? What are you walking into yoga with? Begin to scan through the body from the head. Let the head be heavy. See if you can soften and smooth your forehead, pardon me, that space between your eyebrows, the muscles around your eyes. Can you release them? Letting go of your jaw, the inside of your mouth, your tongue. Let it be heavy and released. Swallow, and then let your throat relax. Let your neck be soft. Shoulders heavy, dropping back and down to the ground. Heart is open. Begin to breathe right into heart center. Can you imagine that there is something spacious there? I've heard of the cave of the heart. I've also heard of a blossom there. So whichever image is working for you today, maybe with a blossom. As you inhale, it spreads and opens. As you exhale, it comes back to a bud. Or if you're imagining the cave of the heart, as you inhale, feel that spaciousness behind, around, above, and below. And as you exhale, just let it wash away and release. Begin to breathe all the way down your arms into your fingertips and back to the cave or the blossom of the heart. And now move your breath a little lower down to right above your navel, the solar plexus. Breathe in here. Imagine there's a flame. And with each inhale, you feed the flame. And with each exhale, you release a little bit of the oxygen. Imagining that you are keeping this constant level of fire burning. So you don't want to flame out, and you also don't want to go out. Inhaling and exhaling to keep the flame lit. Bring the breath into your low belly. Find the front points of your hips, your headlights, your hip points, and breathe right in between them, letting the breath expand that area, softening and exhaling, letting it drop. Begin to breathe all the way down your legs into your feet and out through your toes. Scanning through the whole body. What are you encountering? Join you. And now, if you have anything underneath your head, please remove it. Bending your knees, hands down at your sides. I'm going to come into some gentle bridges. As you inhale, press down with your hands, press down with your feet, and lift your hips. Stay for a breath, soften a little bit. Exhale, press a little higher. And exhale, next exhale, release and lower. And we'll do this a few times, working with your own breath. Staying for one or more breaths, lifting a little higher and gently releasing down. Move at your own speed, a couple breaths. Maybe two more times, lifting, holding, and lowering. Maybe this will be the last time. Release your hips down. Maybe drop your knees a little bit from side to side, rocking a little bit from side to side. We're going to come back into bridges, and you have the option of adding arm movement. You do not have to if that doesn't serve you today. But as you press into your feet and lift your hips, inhale and reach up either overhead or out to the side in goddess arms. Holding again. And then as you exhale, release the arms down. Couple like this. Inhale, pressing up, lifting arms, maybe. And exhale, come down. This time, if you're lifting and bringing arms up or out, leave your arms where they are and exhale. Slowly come all the way down. Inhale, press back up, pressing into your feet, and then lower arms and hips. We'll do that one more time if you'd like. Inhale up. Arms stay. Exhale, slowly lower hips all the way down. Inhale, pressing up. And then exhale and release arms all the way down. From here, we're going to work with some heel extension. So we're going to be just sliding the leg out and drawing it back in. But we're going to work with some breath. So as we extend the leg, we're going to use a S breath, lots of S's, like a snake sound. So extending through one leg with a S breath, slowly. And now we're going to draw it back in with a sh breath, SH, like you're shushing someone. So inhale first, and then exhale and slowly bring the leg back in. Other side. Inhale first. Inhale. And draw it back. Okay, you get the idea of what we're doing. I'd like you to become aware of the space between your hip points. So right here in your low belly, there is a muscle that runs like a corset all the way around. It's a deep muscle, the transversus abdominis. And it really is, we hear about the six-pack, right? The rectus abdominis, but this is the transversus. So it transverses, it goes across. And this muscle, this corset muscle, really helps us to protect our low backs, to keep our abdominal muscles, our organs safe and protected. So we want to make sure that we know how to engage it. And one of the things that helps you to engage it is imagining drawing your hip points towards each other. It's a little bit, so like I'm sort of pelvic tilting as I do it, but I'm thinking about my front hip points trying to draw towards each other. And let's just imagine this, and with a sh, sh breath, let's try to draw our hip points towards each other. Inhale first. Inhale and release that. Okay, now I'm hoping that you felt that. We're going to employ the sh breath, the leg extension, and the drawing in of, or the engaging of the transversus abdominis all at the same time. So we'll inhale in place. Exhale, as you extend your leg with the S sound, be aware of what's happening here in your low belly. Inhale in place, we'll draw the leg back with the sh breath. Think about and pay attention to what is happening right here. Were you able to become aware of that engagement? We'll do it on the other side. Inhaling, S sound as you extend. Inhale in place, and then Okay, I'm hoping that you're feeling some of this engagement. It helps sometimes to bring your fingertips just inside those hip points. We'll do it one more time with a lot of awareness of engaging this low abdomen. Inhale in place. S sound as you extend one leg. Inhale, press out through your heel, and then shh breath as you draw it back. Inhale here, and then S breath as you extend. Inhale. Shh breath, engaging that low abdomen. Ah, beautiful. If you'd like, draw your knees up and gently rock from side to side, releasing. And then bring both feet down. We're going to transition up to tabletop. If tabletop is not a good pose for you, stay here on your back. And you can work with a pelvic tilt when we do cat-cow. You can work with extending or opposite. Can I do opposite? Yes, I can. As we do it on hands and knees, okay? So if you're coming up, roll to one side and press up. Make sure you have something to pad your knees. And find your tabletop, either on hands, fists, or forearms, whatever works best for your upper body. And on knees. And again, I think I've shown you this before, but if you take a folded blanket or some other kind of cushion, if you have kneecap pain, you can come forward so that your shins are on the support and your kneecaps have a little room to sort of hover. So see what works best in your body, or stay on your back if you prefer, and take a moment to find the length of your spine. Belly is gently engaged, reaching through the crown of the head, reaching the tailbone. We're going to soften the belly and inhale, but we're not going to let our back come into that sort of cow pose. So softly inhale, release your belly to expand. And then as you exhale, think about drawing the belly in and moving your hip points towards each other. So we'll exhale and draw in. Let's do it a few more times. Let's try it with the sh breath, SH. Last one. Now we'll move into cat and cow. As you inhale, lift your tail, soften your belly, lift your chest, reach through the crown of your head. As you exhale, tuck your tail, draw your belly in, open between the shoulder blades, and let your head relax. Inhale, lift the tail, roll through the spine. Exhale, tuck and roll through the spine. Take your time moving through cat-cow or pelvic tilt if you're on your back. And use it as a moment to explore your spine. Noticing the places that feel nice and fluid, and the places that are a little more stuck. And this or the next time that you come through center, through neutral pelvis, stay here. We're going to do some leg extending. So extend one leg. You can have your toes down or lift the leg just to hip height. Avoid opening the hips. Try and really have them level. So you could put a teacup right here on your sacrum and it wouldn't spill. Press out through your heel, reach through the crown of the head. Stay here or add the opposite reach. building some strength. Inhale and reach, and if you'd like, exhale, knee to elbow. And inhale, reach. A few more of these if you'd like, or hold, or rest. And last one. Knees down. Come down onto your forearms with your palms up. You can press back a little bit toward a child's pose. And let's just do some opening and closing of the fingers, the hand. Big open on your inhale. Exhale, squeeze a gentle fist. Couple more. And then come back to your hand or arm position. And we'll extend the other leg. Maybe you do the same thing on this side that you did on the other side, or maybe you make a different choice. See what's working. And last one if you're coming in. And come back to center. Walk your knees out a little bit wider if you like. Toes can stay together. And exhale, drop your hips towards your heels. Begin to come down. Maybe you come onto your forearms or stack fists, or maybe you can come down to stacked hands or all the way down with your forehead on the mat. Take several breaths here. With each inhale, expanding that low back. If you're lying on your back, you could be drawing your knees in here. As you exhale, soften and settle. Inhale, expand, feeling that little bit of compression from your legs drawing in that allows the breath to be pressed more towards the back body, opening through the back ribs, through the waist and the low back. And then from here, walk your knees in just a little bit closer. And if you can, try extending your arms. You can also come onto forearms, but we're going to be working with a knee down plank. So as you inhale, come forward over either your hands or your forearms, whichever you're choosing to work with, and engage that low abdomen. Draw your front hip points towards each other. Long line from kneecap up through the crown of your head. Inhale and then exhale and press back towards your child's pose. Inhale and come forward, weight bearing, turning the fronts of your elbows, the inside of your elbows forward. Exhale and press back. Two more if you'd like. Inhaling forward, exhaling back, and last, knee down plank. Stay right here if you'd like. Try curling your toes under and come into a full plank. Getting nice and long from knee to crown or from toes or heel to crown. One more breath, and then knees down. And once more, press back into child's pose. Maybe rock from side to side. Maybe drop your hips to one side and settle for a few breaths. And when you're ready, switch sides. Taking your time, come back through center and walk yourself up onto your knees. We're going to come into a knee down lunge sequence. So grab your blocks if you have them, or something that might help you with a little bit of support. Make sure again that you have something underneath your knees. If you're lying on your back, you can work with this by drawing one knee in at a time, extending the other leg. You'll see how we're doing that. So bringing blocks in front, if you're using them, or hands down to your mat. Let's step one leg forward in between your blocks. Now, from here, gently press your hips forward. You see this action? I'm coming forward. I'm going to show you directly from the side. So I'll move this. Pressing forward. This helps me to extend the front of my hip. I'll show you in this direction. So here you can see. So I have length from my knee up through my hip, and then in a moment I might be reaching up. But first, just pause here and notice when your hips are forward, is your knee of the front leg, is the knee right over the ankle? If it's coming past the toes and your heel is lifted, then walk that foot a little further forward, okay? Once you get that alignment, begin to gently rock forward and back, finding some length in the front of the one hip and in the back of the other leg. And the next time that you're pressing back, pause here for a breath or two. Maybe you can walk your blocks back for more support. Maybe you'd like to flex your foot, drawing your toes back towards your knee. Think of pressing that heel down and drawing that hip back so that you're meeting, that your hips are even. And inhale, place your foot once again and come into your forward pressing in your hips. From here, we're going to walk up. Maybe you stay right here with hands on your knee, or maybe you'd like to extend one or both arms. Inhale, reach, lift from the chest, lift from the crown, lift through the fingertips. We're going to come into a twist by drawing one arm forward and the other arm back. I'm turning towards my front knee. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, bring your hands down. And now you can either curl toes and come into a full lunge, or stay right where you are with one hand on the floor or a block. We're going to inhale and open into a twist. So I'm twisting again towards my bent front knee, reaching up, but you can have a bent elbow or even a hand on the hip, whatever works in your body. And then come back through center, draw that knee back, and we'll switch sides. So when you're ready, step the other foot forward. Take a moment as you press your hips forward to check your alignment. See if you can tap your foot. If you can't tap your foot, walk the foot more forward. And then begin to rock gently forward and back, keeping your hips squared so they're facing forward. Just beginning to coax some length into the back of the leg, into the front of the hip. The next time your hips are pressing back, maybe you walk your blocks back for more support and adjust your front leg. Maybe you flex your foot, drawing your pinky toe as much as your big toe towards your knee. Press down through this heel and see if you can draw that hip back. That might increase the stretch. You might not need to increase it. If you're feeling any pain in your knee, keep a slight bend there. One more breath and then we'll walk forward and walk up. Again, maybe you stay with one or both hands on the knee, or maybe both hands come up. Inhaling, lifting the heart, lifting the crown, reaching through the fingers. Exhale and twist towards that front bent knee. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands come down, maybe to a block or to right down to the mat. And inhale, open, coming into a twist. Release both hands down. This time we will curl back toes under to press through a lunge. Stepping the back foot forward, bend your knees, hands to knees, and inhale up with a long spine, making your way all the way up to standing. Take a moment here, just walk it out. I'm going to take a sip of water. You may like to do the same. And then slowly find your way into your mountain pose. Take this up just a little. Feet about hip distance apart and right underneath your hip joints, right? Bring your hands to the tops of your hips and rock a little bit forward and back, lifting heels and toes alternately. And then come to some stillness on your feet. Rock a little side to side. Can you make little hip circles? Let your knees bend if you feel any pressure there. Go the other way if you're circling. And then come back to center. Press into your feet. Lift your low belly. Draw your thighs towards each other. Lift your pelvic floor. Lift all the way through heart center and up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms float up. Look up and see your palms meet. They can be up overhead or in front of you. Exhale and draw that energy right to heart center. We'll do it 2 more times. Pause right here, eyes forward. Blink your eyes a few times and then notice a focal point or drishti, something that isn't moving. Maybe it's at the horizon line or down on the floor a little bit. Take a moment to focus your eyes on that point of stillness. Engage through your body. Draw your ankles towards each other, your thighs. Lift your pelvic floor, your low belly. Lift through the heart and the crown. And we'll move into our tree practice. Feel free to get more support from a wall or a piece of sturdy furniture. When you're ready, send your roots down through one leg. Shift the weight, but don't let that hip pop out to the side. Keep it tucked and engaged strongly. You should feel a lot of work right here in your glutes. Let the other leg float up and turn out. You can place your foot at the thigh, below the knee, or right at the ankle. Finding your balance, feeling that sense of groundedness, lifting the energy up through your hands, through heart center, up and out. Can you grow your canopy? Drawing the energy out and away. Send the energy out through your fingertips, growing your branches, lifting, breathing, finding some stillness before you come out. Come in and out if you need to, and find some stillness. And when you're ready, bring hands through heart center, 2 feet down, and again, find stillness. Feel your breath. Begin to root down through the other leg, again, strengthening through the whole pelvic girdle, drawing your other leg floated up and out. What is the foot position of choice on this side? Is it different? Finding strength and stillness, allowing the breath to flow, the energy, whoops, I'm coming out, putting my toe down. Finding the energy to draw up through heart center, draw it up and out. Opening, draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Open the heart, open through your armpits. Open your palms. Reach through the crown of your head. Keep engagement in the low body, drawing in. Find stillness. And then come out, hands to heart center, walk in place. Come to stillness and think about closing your eyes. What changes? Make sure that you're safe, that you can reach for something if you need it. Make sure the breath is flowing and then become aware of your feet on the ground. Your legs strong, drawing towards each other. Your pelvic floor as it lifts, your belly as it lifts, your heart as it lifts. Feel your palms connecting, or one palm. Reach up through the crown of the head. Blink your eyes open. One more sun breath, reaching up. And then let's make our way down to a seated position. Make sure that you have something to sit on, a low pillow, a cushion, a folded blanket. Pardon me, something for a little bit of support. And grab my lower bolster. And coming down, let me scooch back just a little. We'll start with soles of feet together, knees apart, maybe a little rock, bound angle pose. And then come to stillness. Take a moment to notice right here where you're feeling this. If you feel like you're rocking and rolling onto your tailbone, sit up on something higher, like on the edge of a pillow or a couple of stacked blankets, until you can sit up on your sits bones, the bones at the bottom of your pelvis. Hold on to your knees, your shins, or your ankles, wherever feels natural. And inhale, pull gently against your legs in order to extend through your spine, reaching up through the crown of the head. As you exhale, soften in the hip sockets, inner thighs. Let the knees drop a little more open. As you inhale, lengthen, pull back, draw your chest forward, your heart lifting. As you exhale, soften and let everything release. So from here, I'm going to move into a little bit of what's sometimes called self-massage. So I'm going to draw one leg underneath, and then I might take either a cushion, a pillow, or my block to bring the other foot up onto. And then I'm going to start by just a gentle tapping, slapping, really, it's an open palm, open hand, along the sole of my foot. Maybe on both sides would feel good. And then take one hand and brush from heel out through the toes, heel out through the toes, heel out through the toes. Beautiful. Draw that leg down, but make sure that I want you to be able to reach your foot and all the way up your leg. We're going to, everybody okay? I hear somebody coming off of mute. So check to make sure that you're still muted. And we're going to draw energy up the leg. So gently wrap your hands around your leg, very gentle. We're not putting any pressure. It's really just a brushing up and in towards the heart, towards the center of the body. And a couple of strokes like this. Try and make sure that you're getting the back of your leg and the front, the top, the sides. And then extend that leg out, maybe a little windshield wiper from side to side, and switch sides. We'll start with the little slap of the foot. Who doesn't like a good foot massage? I don't know, maybe somebody doesn't. If you have any neuropathy in your feet, be very gentle. Notice what changes when you slap. Can you slap around? Can you slap both sides? It's bringing a little bit of blood. We'll sweep from heel to toes, and sweep, and then bring the leg out where you can reach it, and begin to stroke up towards your hip, on the inside, on the outside, on the bottom, on the top, sides, a couple of strokes. Enlivening, engaging. And then come into a comfortable sitting position. Maybe it's cross-legged or something else that feels good. Maybe you're sitting up in a chair, and that is perfectly fine. We're going to extend one arm, bring the other hand on top, and draw your hand up and across the chest, up the top of the arm and across to your other shoulder. Stroking gently. You can rest your hand if that feels better. And now turn your hand over your whole arm, palms together, and stroke up the inside of the arm. Two more. And then shake that arm, shake out your fingers, really flop it around there gently, of course, and let it rest. We'll move to the other side, stroking up and across. Turn the arm over, palm to palm, inside of the arm, stroking up and across. And last one, come to stillness, palms facing down. I'm going to do one pranayama, one breath training here. It's called caring breath. And it just involves some inhales and exhales, some arm movement, and some head movement. So watch, and I'll show you the pattern, and then I can talk you through it. We'll inhale and raise one arm, so in a receiving gesture. Exhale, draw that hand to your heart and turn your head, look down towards your other shoulder. Inhale, head comes to center, reach out, and then exhale, bring your hand down to your thigh, grounding gesture, and let your head come down. We'll switch sides. Inhale, head comes to center, reach out, receiving. Exhale, hand across to your chest, look down to the side. Inhale, receiving gesture, head to center. And exhale, grounding gesture, tuck your chin. Inhale, back to center. Okay, I'm going to take you through this. I will cue the words, and we'll do it for a little while. And then I'm going to stop cueing it, and I want you to just move. And if you forget the pattern, don't worry about it. Try and get the energy of the breath, the movement, and stay with it for a little while. And then slowly we'll make our way down to lying down and finish the rest of our practice. So sitting comfortably, eyes closed or soft gaze. Let's take just a couple of breaths. Inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale, a sense of grounding, being planted. Feeling the breath as you inhale, moving through the body. Feeling the breath as you exhale, moving through the body. And on our next inhale, we'll begin carrying breath. Inhale, head to center, arm comes out, receiving energy. Exhale, draw it to you. Turn and look down a little bit. Inhale, reaching out once again. Exhale, grounding, chin to chest. Other side. Inhale, receiving gesture. What are you asking for? Exhale, draw it in. Can you take it in? Inhale, reaching out again. Exhale, grounding. And continue. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, draw in whatever you need. Inhale, send out whatever is needed. And exhale, find grounding, stability, your own centeredness. Other side. Inhale. What are you receiving? What's the energy, exhale, that you want to bring in? Inhale. What's the energy you want to send out? Exhale. How do you reground and come back to center? Continue. As you inhale, open up to whatever is possible. As you exhale, see what you can draw in. Inhale, as you reach out, think about how you want to show up in your community. Exhale, how do you support and nourish yourself so you can come back? Inhale, drawing in what's being offered. Can you take it to heart? Inhale, reaching out, touching. Exhale down. Continue with the pattern for several repetitions. Stay with it as long as it's interesting, useful, and then come to stillness when you're ready. Feel free to stay in a seated meditation if you'd like, or slowly make your way down to the mat for your Shavasana rest. Wherever you choose, allow yourself to feel grounded, connected to the earth, and spacious, connected to the expanse of sky above you. Letting go, softening, relaxing. There is a beauty in acting with awareness. There is a miracle in every moment. All we need to do is pause and observe the self, the interaction process, and how the body expresses itself without the use of words millions of times a day. Next time you move or stay still, I urge you to allow for a rising of curiosity to understand and introspect your own gestures and postures. Be watchful of the communication process with the subtle energies. Every moment is a miracle. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing small movements into fingers and toes. Take your time, and when you feel ready, roll to one side and pause. And then press into your hands and gently make your way up to sitting, allowing your attention to stay deeply inward for another moment or two. We'll seal our practice with one chant of Om for the community we create when we practice together. Bringing hands to heart center, we'll inhale together. Om Shanti, peace, peace, peace. Jai Bhagwan. I say Jai Bhagwan because it is the traditional closing for the lineage that I've studied through Swami Kripalu. And Jai Bhagwan, I've heard many interpretations, but one that I like is, may you be victorious in your yoga and in life. Thank you for sharing your practice with me and with each other.